You know, as I prepare myself for lunch here, there's one question that I think anybody has when it comes to G5 and some of the characters there. Now, we know that basically there's been some comparisons already made to the characters due to the fact that they have similar elements. Yeah, the elements are different in name, if not in nature, but there is a similarity to them. And when everybody looked at Pipp, obviously she's one of the more, one of the more standout versions of characters that they're going to have in the movie. You know, she's going to obviously be about socializing on social media with her fans, you know, getting to know them, thanking them for following her, you know, stuff like that. And Dr. Wolf even did a video on that earlier, talking about how she's kind of be like that. And they even, Hasbro themselves, released, I think, what was it, a 15-second or 50-second clip or something like that, to kind of promote, you know, what her role is going to be like in the film when it comes to being this big pop star that interacts with her fans from a social media standpoint. So when I look at that and just the way she's being presented, I mean, you look at the trailer too, when Izzy basically comes up with the idea to disguise them so they can go into her village, into her home, where the unicorns are. She, you know, Izzy is like, not Izzy, but Pipp is the first one to really like the idea. She's really embracing the idea of makeover and being gorgeous and all that. And then when you add the fact that her element, in my opinion, even though it's confidence and everything, you know, even though it's confidence, if you will, that to me, her element, you know, speaks a lot of volumes. Because like I said, the element of confidence, you know, in my opinion, is very similar to the element of, you know, generosity in a sense. I know that sounds weird, but to me, I kind of see that as being a very, you know, very close similarity. I mean, to me, honestly, with the exception of Sunny, you know, a lot of them, you know, have elements that are mixtures, if you will, of the main six's elements. I mean, Hitch is the only one that has kindness carried over from Fluttershy's element in Friendship is Magic. But when you look at courage, that's a mixture, in my opinion, of hope, not hope, but of honesty and loyalty. When you look at confidence, I look at that as being a mixture of generosity and honesty and loyalty. I see a mixture of three right there. And when I look at Izzy and her creativity, I look at that as being a mixture of generosity and laughter. That's what I see. I see it's a hodgepodge, if you will, mixture of elements. So I bring all this up though because of the fact that when I look at the idea that we're going to be getting a series with these characters after the movie in 2022, and although for the time being we only have 5 characters, we do know that eventually you're going to have some new characters, you know, for them to interact with, you know, to spend time with, to go on adventures with and stuff like that. But the question is, you know, what kind of characters could those be? And I think the most obvious characters that a lot of fans would want in there to interact with the main 5 is a dragon. Maybe a descendant of Spike or something, or Ember, or Smolder or something like that. You know, in my opinion, a dragon that you could probably tell, you know, comes from the same family line as either one of those 3. And I bring that up because, as I mentioned earlier, and Dr. Wolf mentioned, you know, just the way Pipp is being presented. You know, she has the element of confidence, which again I believe is a three-way mixture of honesty, loyalty, and generosity. When I look at her having that element, and that element being a mixture of those three previous elements, leaning more towards the generosity and the loyalty, if you will. But when I see that confidence element being a mixture, and then I see the way she's presented in her looks and everything, and she has, ironically, a bit of hair slipping down her eye, or over her eye, very similar to another character we know of. It makes me wonder if Pipp, not only as some people are assuming, and that's my microwave going off, signaling that my corn dogs are done for me to eat for lunch, but anyway, it makes you wonder, since even Dr. Wolf and several others have pinpointed the idea that, you know, Pipp is kind of going to be like the new Rarity, you know, in the show, with a few differences here and there, but with the social media connection and love for her fans and everything, you know, just on display. You have to wonder if maybe, if they do, and this is a big if they add a dragon creature that could be, let's say, descendant from Ember or Smolder or even Spike, and it's a male dragon, because obviously you can't just have Hitch be the only male character in the group. You have to wonder, and again, you look at the fact that Pipp has hair, her mane, part of her mane is covering half her face, her eye, if you will, very similar to a certain very generous unicorn that we know of. You have to think, would Hasbro do the same thing with Pipp and maybe a new dragon character that could get introduced in the series, not specifically the movie, but the series? Could they do the same thing with Pipp and maybe this unknown dragon character? And again, this is just my speculation, nothing confirmed, just mere speculation on my part. You know, you have to wonder if they would pull a Sparity, a Spike and Rarity, or Rarity and Spike with Pipp and whatever maybe dragon character, male dragon character they would bring on board. You know, you have to wonder. You have to wonder that. Or any other creature that might be similar in that, you know, vein, but mostly maybe a dragon. You have to wonder that. Because Pipp, to me, fits that mold of, you know, of who Rarity was, in a sense. Minus the social media platform, if you will. But she kind of fits in that mold. And in my opinion, I wouldn't put it past Hasbro and Boulder Media and whoever else is working on the show, on the movie and the show, because of course they have some people that used to work on the series also working on the new show and the movie. It makes you wonder, you know, would they do it? Because again, I wouldn't put it past them to attempt that, but wait until the series comes out to do it. Because we all know that sometimes when a movie comes out, yeah, it's going to focus on the new characters or the core characters of that movie. But then when the series comes out, not only is it going to focus on those characters, but it will also focus on some new characters introduced exclusively into the series. So it makes you wonder if come the series, we get introduced to a new dragon character that, like I said, maybe, you know, similar to Smolder, Spike, maybe a descendant of Ember, who knows? You have to wonder if they'll pull the same, you know, situation they did with Rarity and Spike with Pipp and a potential male dragon character that they could bring in to fill that Spike void. And it makes you wonder. Because again, if all the similarities she has, you know, to Rarity, the fact that her element, in my opinion, is a mixture of three elements: generosity, honesty, loyalty, more weighing towards the direction of loyalty and generosity, and the fact that just like Rarity, she has her hair, a part of her mane, over her eye at times, you have to wonder, you have to speculate and wonder if that's a possibility. Again, I'm not saying anything is confirmed. I'm just speculating on my own. But again, knowing how Hasbro is, you know, we've seen this in the past with a lot of the shows that have had movies, or a lot of the movies that have had, a lot of the shows that have had movies before them, then when the show comes out, yeah, you still have some of the same characters, but you also focus on newer characters as well. Or you introduce and focus on newer characters as well. So it makes you wonder, will they pull the same thing, the same stunt, the same idea, with Pipp and a male dragon character if they bring him in, into the series exclusively? And I'm just checking my dog there, seeing what she's doing. I think I gotta let her out in the moment. But it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if they would attempt to do that. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the live chat during the premiere. But do you think they might do it? Do you think they'll wait to the series to introduce maybe a male dragon character? Very similar to maybe Spike, Ike, or Smolder in stature, or maybe a descendant of them, or Ember. And you think maybe they'll go the same route with him crushing on Pipp that had Spike crushing on Rarity, and then the affections being equally received back and forth, if you know what I mean. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Love to hear from each and every one of you. Like the video, and I know.